So having got the right position to place the blade, the second aspect of it is the timing. We've sort of introduced a favoured floor of that slight hesitation, but we want to be able to develop into a position where we have the skill to place the blade as we arrive. Now, in this context, I often use the analogy of clapping your hands. That if you want to clap your hands to a certain beat, then according to where you're starting and how fast you go, you can keep to a certain beat, but your brain has to work out how far your hands are apart, how fast, when they need to start moving, and how fast they need to move before you arrive on the beat. And there's a certain aspect of that if you're going to place as you arrive. It means, effectively, that you need to start placing before you arrive. So if we're going to do that, it means that we have to have a skill which allows us to think about when we start raising our hands rather than waiting until the seat says we've arrived. Even my technique for teaching you where to place the blade has suggested you arrive first. But people by default, whatever skill they are aware of that they're trying to learn, will always arrive at the front stops, at the front of the slide, until they place the blade. We are trying to break that dependency and move our brain from our bottoms into our hands. So it means that the hands decide at some point that they're going to rise, and when they touch the water, the bottom is told to stop moving and change direction. So it's that way around, okay? So I can hear you asking, so what's the favoured floor, John? Well, I'll tell you, the favoured floor is that you might go in before you've got to front stops. In fact, if you haven't gone in before you've got to front stops, you probably haven't got it right, okay? What we're ideally going for is just kissing front stops as you place the blade. So you need to be committing to placing the blade before you arrive. And if that means you go in short, that's fine. Absolutely no problem at all. I can hear coaches now sort of saying, so does that mean that you're not going to go in together? We're going to have people placing at different times? Well, I'll tell you how that works. You go in when you arrive. That's the rule. You go in when you arrive. If you're going in at the wrong time, with stroke or whatever it is, then arrive at a different time, okay? So I want to make sure that you are going in as you change direction. That's what we're aspiring to. And if you're arriving at the wrong time consistently or whatever, then you must change your arrival time by slowing down the slide or being a little bit more controlled or whatever it happens to be, and making sure that the timing is good. But your skill, your personal athletic contribution to perfect rowing is to go in as you arrive. Capiche?